You can be a cool loser or you can be a fucking loser. And these people are fucking losers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heather Shaw is Kidding. It's me, Heather Shaw. Happy Wednesday. I'm back. I took a sabbatical, baby. I was traveling a lot, and I did not have time to record an episode last week, but that's okay. We're back. We're gayer than ever. We're queefing it up. Leave a review. Review this podcast. Rate this podcast. Leave one word. You know what I want? Queef. Join the Patreon. I met some people out in Kansas City. I met a lovely fan who said she had already listened to all the podcasts. I don't remember her name. I'm very sorry. You were wearing a striped shirt. I'm going to call you my little zebra, my little Kansas City zebra lady. You were very nice. Thank you for coming to the show. Join the Patreon if you run out of episodes to listen to and you're jonesing for more content. It's $3 a month at least. At the most, $20. It's whatever you want. You get the same access. Patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy. A bonus episode of this podcast every single week without fail. There's also a chat that you can chat to other members in the Patreon about. Lots of fun little gossip going on over there. And I'm going to start being more active on the Patreon when it comes to posting pictures of my pussy. No, just posting pictures from the road of Edie. I'm going to do more of those for the travel freaks out there. It'll be fun on Patreon. So join it. Join the community. Turn gay. Upcoming shows. I am in Cleveland, Columbus, Massillon. We added another show in Massillon, Ohio. Shout out to the people of Massillon. They really wanted me to come out there, huh? We added another show, 10 p.m., because the first show sold out, so get tickets to that. Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois. I'm all in your cities next week. I'm going one run with my best bud, Tom Feeney. We're going to see all of you next week. Get tickets at othershawcomedy.com, and I'll let you know about a bunch of other cities that are coming up. We just added St. Louis for next month. And some other fun ones, Providence, Rhode Island, and some other ones for later on in the early of 2026 year. I'm just learning how to talk again into a microphone. Excuse me if I sound a bit slow. Yeah, I think that's all it for housekeeping. Get tickets, join the Patreon, stay gay, and keep queefing. Where do we leave off? This was it's gonna be a heavy. There's not much like pop culture. This episode's gonna be more about things that are happening in the news and the administration. As a comedian, my favorite administration. As a lesbian, my least fave. But the government has shut down. We're on almost a month of the shutdown. We're going strong on the shutdown. I don't know why people are showing up to work if they're not getting paid. As someone who flies a lot, thank you, TSA. Thank you, Air Traffic Control. Holy shit, you guys are essential workers and you're showing up every day and then proceeding to get a paycheck that reads one big fat zero and not guaranteed back pay. You're better than me. You're stronger than me. Bitch, I would have quit on the spot. I would have said, OnlyFans, here I come. How many TSA OnlyFans accounts are there? Show me the badge and show me the vag. That's what my bio would read. I'll show you the badge. I'll show you the vag. Former TSA turned sex worker. Yeah, I really wouldn't be doing that job, and shout out to them. I don't know why they all just don't refuse to work. That would be the simplest solution for getting this government back in order. The minute mass amounts of workers, employees don't show up to work and flights can't happen without air traffic control, without TSA, flights cannot happen. You can't get through security. You can't fly safely in the air. Unfortunately, I don't know. We as a collective don't think that way. I understand it. You want job security even if you're not getting paid. You're hoping you get back pay. I doubt you will. This administration has come out and said, no, we're not gonna pay you for the work you've done. That's crazy. This is modern day slavery. They should have kept that one to themselves, by the way. They should not have said that there's no back pay. That's an insane thing to say during a government shutdown. We're getting paid to not work, but for all you people that are working to keep this economy alive, you're not going to be getting paid. Why wouldn't you just keep that one close to your chest? It's a weird move. You lie about everything else, lie about this. Say, yeah, you're going to get paid, and then don't pay them. I'm not advocating for not paying the workers. I'm just saying, why the fuck would you tell them you're not paying? I'm surprised that these employees are still showing up to work. I don't get it. I don't think they wouldn't lose their job in the long run, because they're going to need TSA and air traffic controllers. And if everybody just stops working, they'll get rehired. They need the people, especially air traffic controller. Nobody can do that. I mean, listen, I love TSA. They're usually very nice to me, but it's a walk-on job. It's an entry-level job. It's a step up from mall cop. I think the outfits they wear look like something you'd buy at a Spirit Halloween store. Like, I'm a cop. TSA outfits are very fun. They're not doing much. They confiscate things. Like, one time a TSA agent confiscated canned dog food I had for Edie on the trip. And I said, oh, you have to take that. It's unopened. It was sealed. And it wasn't purely liquid, but it was canned dog food. And he said, yeah, we don't know. This could be a safety issue. And then he proceeded to just throw it into a bin right next to us. And I was like, what if that had been a bomb? How much of a safety procedure is it to discard, quote unquote, maybe potentially dangerous items into a bin right next to you? I have a feeling TSA, and they should be doing it now. They should be rummaging through the confiscated items bin at the end of every shift and just taking what they want. I guarantee you they do that. I would. This is good canned dog food. I'm taking this home. But it is funny when they're like, yeah, it's for safety. And then it's like, well, if that was a bomb, we're done. If that goes off. But we need TSA for the illusion of safety. And insofar, I'm very safe on flights. I have not felt any disruptions flying yet. We are only about a month into this thing. And I've only flown early on into the shutdown. The last time I flew was last week. But so far, TSA has been great, very efficient. Planes have not really been delayed. There was one delay we had, but I was flying United. Like, it's kind of a requirement to be sitting on the tarmac for an hour if you're on a United flight in O'Hare. That's to be expected. But yeah, I don't know. USA Today reached out. They want me to give a funny story or two about flying. And first of all, who's reading USA Today? My grandparents? They're dead. I kind of don't want to do it because it's like, I don't really have any, for as much as I fly, I do not have any funny stories. Nothing fun happens you know why? Because I put my AirPods in and I start watching Real Housewives of Atlanta and I don't notice shit. Somebody could hijack our plane and I'd be like, hold on. Kenya and Matt, they're getting into something. Matt's about to fuck up Kenya's house. Like, I just don't pay attention to my surroundings. I got my AirPods in. If there's a screaming baby, I can't hear it. I specifically bought the AirPods that cancel out screaming babies. That's how useful that is, that noise canceling. There's no funny stories. I fly all of the time. I'm flying this weekend in New York City. I fly all the fucking time. Nothing crazy happens. Knock on wood. I don't want anything crazy to happen. One time, I think a guy had a panic attack on a flight because he probably took too many gummies, and they were like, is there a nurse on the flight? And a lady was like, I knew a nurse. My neighbor's a nurse. And they were like, please help us. And the lady whose neighbor is a nurse, she went and helped him, and she didn't really do much. She just said, like, weed has never killed anybody. You're going to be fine. That was like the craziest thing that happened. But like, for as often as I fly, knock on wood, please, not another 9/11. I don't need to be on the next 9/11 flight. Jesus Christ. But yeah, as much as I fly it doesn't really happen. I haven't really noticed anything from the government shutdown so far, but I would totally understand if all those employees and workers stopped going to work. Who the fuck works for zero pay? In this fucking economy, in any fucking economy, get the fuck out of here. While your rulers, your politicians are not working for pay, they just get administrative leave. Fuck out of here. 35 days was the longest record. 35 days was the record for the longest shutdown, and that was during Trump's first administration. So I think he's going for a record breaker here, baby. I could see this thing going on 2 months. 60 days at least, right through Thanksgiving. The one thing I'm most concerned about, it's not so much flying, it would suck if flying was made impossible, but it would be understandable because I'm on the side of people who work and I don't agree that people should work without pay. But the one side I'm really worried about is cutting off access to SNAP benefits, cutting off money, not sending any money to SNAP, so nobody can receive any SNAP benefits. That's a real dark one for me. I strongly urge you to look up your local food bank. I know that food is expensive. I know that we are all struggling. If you're not struggling as much, if you're a single person and you've got some extra cash, hell, if you're just a rich person, if you're what do they call those? A DINK, double income, no kid. Hey, go pick up some canned foods, rice. I don't know what else they need. Drop them off at your local food bank because if they cut off the SNAP benefits, you will have people, kids especially, think of the kids that are starving, hungry. They're already hungry kids. There's going to be more. I think it's something like, 20 million people on SNAP. I don't want to say that that's Bible. I don't know if that's real. Bible's fiction anyways. I don't want to say that that's, God, what is real? Science. I don't want to say that's science, but I would strongly urge it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to the grocery store today. Going to pick up some items. I'm actually going to Google because I really don't know. I don't think I've donated to a food bank in a very long time, to be honest. I'm a horrible person, I know. But I would assume canned items, rice, beans would be great. That's also a kind of a canned item. Diapers, if you can swing it, those are very expensive. I just kind of want to donate a bunch of cloth diapers. I don't know. Diapers are like $30 for a pack of 10. That's fucking nuts. Newborns go through like 15 a day. That's crazy. Newborns, they got to stop pooping. In this economy, you've got to stop pooping. Please. I guess without this food, they will stop pooping, huh? It's very bleak out there. If you can, I would strongly urge you to help and do what you can. Canned food is not that expensive. You can go to Walmart, Aldi, really anywhere. It should be pretty cheap. Get the great value stuff. And it's something that you can do that's very minimal effort on your part. I understand if you're struggling yourself, you can't, but if you're in a position where you can help, you better fucking help, okay? Think of children starving. And if that doesn't move you to want to help, hey, you might be a bad person. I understand not empathizing with adults because adults are messy and problematic, and we've kind of, we have our trauma, but at the end of the day, our life is our life. But children are helpless. They're truly helpless. That's why I like children and animals. You know what I mean? But I would urge you to go help. This isn't very fun. This is just something I'd have to get off my chest, my very flat chest. Okay, it was weighing heavy. I felt like I had boobs for a second. All right, we're back with the jokes. 2 Nips. That'd be my rap name, 2 Nips. That's all I got up there. Yeah, the shutdown could be going on for 2 months. I see a lot of people online with 14 brain cells that keep blaming Democrats. I don't think Democrats are perfect ever. They're kind of spineless, weak people. But, it can't be the Democrats' fault when Republicans control all of the government, every branch of government. The Republicans control, and you have the fucking White House. How is this the Democrats? It's if anybody says, the Democrats, we do nothing. We don't even control anything. We barely have control of our lives. We don't have control of our bodies if we're women. We're about to lose control of our rights to marriage if we're gay. We don't have any control. Please. This is all the Republicans. You know this probably if you're listening to a lesbian rant and rave. You probably are aware of this. But I know there's some conservative people out there that listen to me. I like to think of them as the old school conservatives who still have critical thinking skills. I think that they understand that this is not so much a Democratic issue than it is a Republican issue. But I am thinking of everybody that is going to be affected by this, while our politicians absolutely are not affected in the least, in the slightest. Supreme Court is going to consider whether they are to hear the same-sex marriage case on November 7th. That is coming up real quick. I'll be in Ohio at that time. Maybe not. Maybe Fort Wayne. Maybe Massillon. I don't know. November 7th is next Friday. Supreme Court's going to take on that case that Kim Davis submitted, that fucking Mucinex germ of a bitch. She looks like a walking thumb with a bad hairline. Kim Davis, she's been married 3 times. You know, she knows a thing or two about marriage and what makes it lawful and what makes it right. Kim Davis looks like an Amish fart. Okay, the Supreme Court's going to hear the case. They're going to decide whether they hear the case. It's not that they're taking on the case yet. This is why it's great being engaged to a lawyer, because I can get all my questions answered. So Kim Davis filed this thing. Oh my God, look at the game. Look at Obergefell. Look at Obergefell v. Hodges. These faggots. Okay. So she brought Obergefell v. Hodges, the case that overturned the gay marriage being illegal. She brought it, asked for it to be reviewed by SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States. They are now on November 7th, next Friday, deciding whether they are going to review the case. If they review the case, if they take on the case, if they said, yes, this is something we should review, then it's very likely, I think, that gay marriage will be overturned as a federal legal thing. Listen, I'm married to a lawyer. I'm almost married to a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. If they review it, I think that they've already kind of set in motion that they're going to overturn it and send gay marriage back to the states the same way they did with abortion. So it won't be a federal ban on it, but it will go back to the states. And there will be a lot of people that suffer because they live in a red state, a state that does not have their people's best interests at heart. Now, if you're already married, if you're already garried, as I say, if you're already garried and they overturn gay marriage federally, you're going to be fine. They're not going to touch it because per my future wife, she says that it's just too much admin. It's too much paperwork. It'd be a mess to try to go back and overturn all of these marriages that have happened in the past, 10, 15 years, these gay marriages. It would be a fucking legal mess. It would be too much. What they can do is just say going forward, if you're in Kentucky, if you're in Oklahoma, if you're in Texas, if you're in Florida, you can't get gay married. You can do it if you're in Massachusetts, Delaware, New York, California, Washington. It's just going to be like it is with abortion, where you're just like, where am I again? Do they have an abortion app yet? Where if you're in fucking Mississippi, you can see the closest clinic out of state. Somebody better get on that fucking app. Abort, Uber abort. That might be the new gig economy app. Uber abort. We'll drive you to your appointment. So that's where we're at. It does feel like, I personally think they will. The way this administration is rolling, it's just silly and a little too optimistic to think that Supreme Court would go, gay marriage? Nah, we shouldn't touch that. The Supreme Court is majority conservative. Most of the conservative judges were elected by Trump. A lot of judges elected by Trump are in there. They're going to work on Trump's agenda. We saw this happen with abortion. If anybody says they wouldn't do that to gay marriage, well, let's look at abortion. We never thought that we'd lose access to abortion. Sorry, this isn't a very comedy podcast right now. We'll get to the funnies. We'll get to Disney suicide soon. Don't worry. I think it's interesting. Okay. And sometimes I think it's interesting to talk about. I know this podcast is called Heather Shaw is Kidding, but this is not funny stuff here. I used to have a joke before I found somebody that I loved that I liked when gay marriage was illegal because I never had to consider having the marriage talk with any of my girlfriends. I could just be like, I wish, but I don't want to be arrested, And now it's like, we're getting married New Year's Eve, 2025. I think just by pattern recognition with how this administration's going, I think they're going to take the case on. I think they're going to overturn it. They're going to send gay marriage back to the states. I think this will all happen 2026. It'll be turned back to the states, maybe spring, summer 2026. This is just my personal opinion. I hope I'm wrong. But by then it will be, I'm in Kentucky. It'll be illegal, most likely. But hey, man, we're getting married. I mean, we are getting married New Year's Eve, 2025. I feel like I got on the last chopper out of Nam. Holy shit. I feel like a Titanic passenger who just got on the last lifeboat as it rows away from the sinking ship that is this country. I mean, damn, I feel so sorry for gay people out there that just are not in a relationship that they're ready to get married, or they don't have anybody that they want to marry, and now they're just kind of stuck. You can always go to these blue states and get married, but then when you come back in your state, it's not going to be recognized as a legal thing. But at least we'll have these blue sanctuary states. Massachusetts, what a great state. If it wasn't so fucking expensive, I'm sure a lot of people would move there. But you get what you pay for, and that's rights. You know, that's why Massachusetts is expensive. It's because you get your rights. You get a lot of good rights, all of them. And you get great education in the public school system. So, you know, sure, you can buy a house in Biloxi, Mississippi, or whatever the fuck it's called. But guess what? The education's going to be shit, and you're not going to have rights. Human rights. So it's just pick your poison at this point. But shout out, we'll see. I mean, my fiance does think that she's kind of thinking like she just doesn't see the SCOTUS wanting to take this on, because let's be real, the majority of Americans are cool with gay marriage. It's now a minority thought to think like gays don't deserve to be married. It really is. The majority of people, no matter what party, usually are very cool with gay people getting married. It's so beyond us now. We've moved on to hating trans people. And by we, I mean, not me, but, you know, conservatives. But she thinks maybe it won't be because of that. But, you know, abortion, I think, was a majority in favor. We were all in favor of abortion. There were some freaks out there that thought it was, you know, murder. But, you know, whatever. They lack critical thinking skills. We will see. Not great for gay rights here. But you know what is great for gay rights? Trump is a gay right champion. You know who he just commuted the sentence of George Santos. That's how much he likes gay people. He loves evil gay people. He would love RuPaul. I'm just kidding. RuPaul's probably a fine person. She's kind of an asshole, I've heard. And RuPaul fracks. Great shows. Thanks for you're an icon, RuPaul, but you're kind of an asshole. George Santos, his sentence was commuted. I believe he was supposed to do, 7 years? Was that right? Yeah, he had a 7-year prison term. He served 3 months. Do you know how fucking lucky this guy is? Holy shit. I never would have thought Trump would give a fuck about George Santos. Does George Santos have blackmail on him? Is it just because he's a Republican? Like, why the fuck does Trump give a shit about George Santos? Maybe he likes a good grift. He sees a grift. He goes, I'm a grifter. I like a grifter. Maybe that's what it is. 3 months he did. Now he's out. He's supposed to do 7 years. George Santos is a lucky motherfucker. I'll tell you that much. That guy's so lucky. His sentence, he was also ordered to pay $374,000 in restitution to those whom prosecutors characterized as his victims. Again, Santos was accused of embezzling money from campaign donors, charging credit cards without authorization, among other crimes. He's just he's a grifter. He's a fraudulent man. He's a fraudulent faggot. Yeah. He may not have to pay that restitution back. They asked, George Santos got out of prison, and then in the next 12 hours, he was already on air on CNN and Fox News just talking. I mean, what a life. This guy's got it made. In an interview with CNN, he was asked if he would pay back the approximately $374,000 in restitution. Do we really think this is a question that needs to be answered? We know he's not going to. Do you think he has $374,000? If he had that money, he wouldn't be fucking ripping off credit cards. He says, if it's required of me by the law, he said, I can do my best to do whatever the law requires of me. This was on CNN's State of the Union. He was back to media. He got out of a prison shower. He cleaned up. He came home and he put his ring light on and he started doing interviews from his living room. He said, I don't know what that is. I've been out of prison for 2 days. I agreed to come here to speak with you candidly and openly and not to obfuscate. If it's required of me by the law, yes. If it's not, then no. But I will do whatever the law requires me to do. I'm making George Santos sound a lot more fruity than he is. He's pretty fruity. But he doesn't have that like super lisp. But please, George Santos, please, I need a George Santos reality show. Listen, we've already lost the plot. There is no justice. There never was. Look at P. Diddy, the diddler, set to be released May 2028. Gonna be, he's gonna be pardoned, bitch. P. Diddy's gonna be pardoned for Christmas. He'll be back at that fucking fuck mansion with DJ Khaled, picking up an up-and-coming pop star boy. DJ Khaled will be like, and another one. It's just gonna be awful. He's gonna be pardoned. But if we're going to just be lawless in this country and have no justice, then I want to see good entertainment, okay? This is why I support the Real Housewives so much. Jen Shah is a piece of shit human being, but she made good reality TV. We understand the assignment here. Put George Santos on a reality show, motherfucker. And if he has to pay restitution, how about all that money made from the show goes right into that restitution fund? A win is a win, okay? I don't know what the show would be. I have no idea. George Santos remodeling tiny homes. He just takes a fucking sledgehammer to the side and demolishes the whole thing. Oh, shoot. That's going to cost us a dime and an arm and a leg. Wife swap with George Santos. It's just him and Erica Kirk making out. I don't know. These are things we could do. Trump announced last Friday that he would commute Santos' sentence, stating that Santos has been horribly mistreated. At least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican. So I think that it really is what it comes down to. If you're a Republican, you're okay in Trump's head, which is very dementia-riddled. He's got a sponge brain, just dementia worms crawling in and out. It's interesting, all that work. You prosecute somebody, you get their evidence, you plead the case in court, and then here comes Trump, to just be like, nah, he's good. Let him out. 3 months. What did who's Ostiff? Richard Ostiff. Santos' commutation also sparked the ire of Richard Osthoff, a Navy veteran who has accused Santos of pocketing money from a GoFundMe, raising money to get his dog life-saving surgery. Yeah, this is one of the Santos grifts. Maybe it could just be a show like Grift with George Santos. And it's kind of like Rachel Ray's, what was that fucking $30, what was that show Rachel Ray had where she would take you around, 30-minute meals? No, it was the one where she would take you around and on a budget. What was it called? $40 a day. Okay, Rachel Ray. It was her most prominent show. It was called $40 a day, which is so funny to think about her doing that now. She would take you. She would travel to a new city, and she would eat all meals within a $40 budget. This show came out. This had to have been in 1912. I don't know when she was doing this show. I remember it. That had to have been early 2000s. Hold on. Let me look at the Wikipedia here. 2002, 2003. Okay, so we're talking 20 plus years ago. $40. I would love for Rachel Ray to revive that show, and she has $40 and she's able to buy a soda. And then she's like, well, we're getting into anorexia. I mean, that would be the entire show. It would just be Rachel Ray, $40 a day, just rummaging through the trash outside of Wendy's. This was all for $0. It's a Baconator. It has some garbage shit on it, but it'll do. George Santos could do grift, right? $50 a day. How do you get $50 out of somebody a day? Grift with George Santos. Hey, we're spitballing here. We're fucking spitballing. If Rachel Ray made that show now, what would the budget be? That would be like, yeah, you can go to this city and eat for it'd probably be like $150 a day, which is, in a city, that's doable though. Maybe it'd be like $100. Do you think that would be like, I don't know. Rachel Ray, bring that back. Stop drinking so much and come back to Food Network, baby. Yeah, George Santos. We'll see I'm sure his cameos are open. I don't support this guy. I love a good grift. I do. But if he's not going to be radio silent. This guy craves attention. Again, he got out of prison, threw on his best cardigan, and it was on CNN within hours. Now, we're talking about Diddy. TMZ keeps saying that Trump is going to pardon Diddy. Which it's just it's weird. Diddy got convicted on prostituting, transporting prostitutes, little of men. So he got convicted of transporting male prostitutes. I think that's all he got convicted on. So it would just be interesting why he would pardon that. I think it's, it's another thing where it's big headlines. He doesn't really look like the good guy. He doesn't need to look like the good guy because nobody wanted George Santos free. Okay. So, it's not like justice. I will say with the SNAP thing, I'm a part of me thinks that Trump is November 1st or whenever SNAP is about to run out. I think he's going to save the day to look like the hero. But again, he's cleaning up a mess that he created. So it's like, how much of a hero can you be? But people are dumb and they're going to be like, oh, he brought back SNAP. And it's like, he took it away. It's the whole tariff thing again. 150% tariff on a country. And then right at the last hour, he takes it away and now he looks good. It's batshit bananas. But people are very dumb in this country and they love it. But a rumor. TMZ, they say that Trump is planning to commute Diddy's sentence. They say the decision could come as soon as this week. Now, this is TMZ. They've got a lot of good intel. Usually they're not wrong. They don't post things. Very rarely do they post things that are inaccurate. They're not ethical people. I mean, the minute Hulk Hogan died, they pressed publish on their obituary post. But, they're ready. The White House has denied TMZ's story, calling the report fake news. TMZ is standing firm, saying their story is accurate and that their sources inside Trump's orbit have seen the wheels turning. I would not be surprised in the least if Trump pardons Diddy, the diddler. I will be surprised if the diddler is able to ingratiate himself back into pop culture. I think he's going to have to go real right-wing with it. He's going to have white parties, but just for races. He's going to have to start hosting the Klan. He's going to have to go real right wing to stay in the news. I don't think the entertainment business is going to bring him back. I can't see him having any kind of control or power the way he did back then during his reign of terror. If anything, he'll be popular in the right wing space. He'll be doing co-headlining shows with Kid Rock. He'll be dating Roseanne Barr. He'll be throwing out Tylenol in photo ops with RFK. He'll be dancing next to JD Vance. I don't think the liberal media is going to, obviously they're not going to bring back Diddy. It will be interesting. He's supposed to get out May 2028, so we move that up a bit. He's already, basically in my mind, Diddy has already gotten away with the most horrific shit. He's basically a free man. Whether he sits behind bars until May 2028, he's already gotten off scot-free in my mind for the horrible things he's done, the way he's treated Cassie and the way he's treated young boys, let's say. Shout out Beeb. Shout out Usher. He's already gotten away with so much. So it really, to me, it's like, okay, if he gets out early, so what? He's already got off. He's going to be blacklisted. I can't imagine what celebrities are going to be wanting to be in photos with P. Diddy. Maybe, we forget things. Maybe in 5-10 years he can come back as old man Diddy. Oh, like Cosby. He's just an old guy. But right now, the first 5 years after, it's going to be rough. But we'll see if Trump does it. He has certainly pardoned so many. I mean, if he's going to pardon Santos, why wouldn't he pardon the diddler? Why wouldn't he pardon the diddler and then party with the diddler? Yeah. All right, let's get into our ad read. Sorry that was a heavy up top. It's just what's going on, Sometimes it's all politics I want to talk about. Shout out TSA. All right, you know him, you love him. It's Lucy Brown, baby, the OG sponsor of the show, my favorite coffee shop in America and the world and the universe, located in Lexington, Kentucky, downtown Lexington, Kentucky. If you're ever down that way, pop into Lucy Brown, coffee shop by day, bar by night with cocktails, baby. It's a fun place. It's a great business. I love the owner, Sarah, so much. And they have the best coffee subscription in the game, okay? I have this coffee subscription. You know, every fucking week I tell you, why haven't you gotten the subscription yet, is my question. Like, how much more of this talking do I need to do at you to convince you? Christmas is coming up, motherfucker. You don't know what to get your weird coworker? This is it. Oh, your boss hates you? They won't after you buy them this coffee subscription. Oh, you cheated on your girlfriend? Make it up with a coffee subscription. That will fix everything. She's not going to leave you. Just keep trying and stop cheating. The coffee subscription from Lucy Brown Coffee Bar is the best thing ever. You can enjoy their coffee and coffee of others without ever leaving the comfort of your home. All you got to do is fill out the form on their website, and then you'll start getting coffee beans sent straight to your motherfucking door without having to leave the house. And it's good coffee. It's coffee that, like, if you brew a pot in front of your friends, you're going to go, where the fuck did you find this? And then you can lie. You don't even have to tell them you're on a coffee subscription from Lucy Brown. You can just say, I'm a coffee connoisseur. You didn't know that about me? And then boom, you're getting laid on the first date. Why are you making coffee on the first date? That's another question. But still, it's a great program. It's a great gift for Christmas. I'm telling you. If you have, somebody told me that they got their mother-in-law this coffee subscription, and now they have something to talk about because they didn't really have a lot to talk about. And now with this coffee subscription, at least they have the coffee to talk about, and her mother-in-law loves it. It's a great Christmas gift. It's very affordable. You know, do it. All you got to do is visit lucybrown.com. That's LUSSI Brown.com, and follow the coffee subscription button to get signed up today. That's LUSSI Brown.com. And if you use the code Heather Shaw is kidding, you're going to get 10% off your first order. Let me pull up this website right now. LucyBrown.com, baby. Let me see how easy. Oh, it's so easy. If you can't figure this out, you got bigger problems. You've got so many bigger problems. Get that coffee sent straight to your door. It's a fantastic gift. It's a fantastic way to get into delicious coffee. It's the perfect way to elevate your morning cup at home. And again, if you use the code Heather Shaw is kidding, you're going to get 10% off your first order. We love you, Lucy Brown. Thanks for being an OG sponsor of this show. Well, a man in Athens, Georgia dressed up as a Nazi officer for Halloween. You know, he had been hoping to do that for years. Holy shit. This is the consequence of having, sometimes people don't really see the consequence of having crazy leaders in office, but this is the consequence. People feel brave. You know, I'm seeing a lot more racist shit come out online. I'm seeing a lot more misogynistic shit, homophobic shit, all the ists shit. And then you get things like a 20-year-old kid thinking, hey, in this political climate, now I can finally dress up as a Nazi officer for Halloween. Yeah. Athens, Georgia, I mean, this doesn't surprise me. Athens, Georgia, you know, I'm sure it's an incredibly progressive place where you could absolutely get gay married and have an abortion. Just kidding. Kenneth Leland Morgan. I mean, hello. Kenneth Leland Morgan. What a freak. The man who dressed in a Nazi costume. Now, this TMZ article says the man who allegedly dressed in a Nazi... There's pictures. He dressed in a Nazi costume. You don't have to say allegedly. That's a Nazi costume in Athens, Georgia. You can Google it. Male dressed in Nazi uniform. He was walking around last night. He's got the swastika patch on his arm. The swastika band. I mean, he's straight up wearing, you know, Nazi garb. Lo and behold, he's a fucking asshole and violent. Isn't that so weird? It's so weird to see a man dressed up in a Nazi costume and realize like he's not a saint. It's so weird when a guy decides to be a goof to wear a Nazi costume for Halloween, and then it turns out he's violent and spits on women. That's fucking what? No, I thought people who dressed up in Nazi costumes donated to their food banks. Oh my God, that's crazy. I know he wants women's rights. He struck a University of Georgia student with a beer stein, white on white crime. And he's arrested. He's got a booking photo here. He doesn't look too thrilled. Why would he be? He's jailed by the people he probably, you know, loves. He's been charged with felony aggravated assault, misdemeanor, simple battery. the arrest records went on to say he spit on the female student so he hit this woman. Again, he's hitting a woman, a female student. So a young woman. He's hitting him with a beer stein, and then as she's doubled over in pain, he's spitting on her. Now, it's Athens, Georgia. It's a University of Georgia student. I can't imagine maybe she is liberal. I don't know. Not that it matters, but it's just like sometimes it's like you're just attacking your own people. He spit on her after he hit her on the side of the face with a glass. What a fucking winner, dude. This is somebody's future husband. Isn't that fun? God, women, you gotta have some standards, please. Please have some standards. We need a female loneliness epidemic. I think it's already here. The viral video appears to show the incident. You can see it. He's dressed as a member of Hitler's Gestapo outside a college bar where he's met by several patrons fuming over his costume. So there are people at this bar going like, what the fuck are you doing? He ends up hitting this woman after, people are telling him to get the fuck out. People are telling him to leave the bar. Nobody's like, oh my God, this is totally cool. Nobody is like that. So that's good. But the victim did suffer a black eye, broken nose, needed stitches. I would sue his fucking ass. Yeah, sue his ass. Take his Nazi suit. Take all of his Nazi suits. Sue him. The University of Georgia called the whole episode appalling and is assisting the alleged victim and other students. Now, I don't know if this guy was a student. That's the thing I'm unsure. I don't think he was. I don't think he's in school. School teaches you the liberal mindset. Yeah, I don't think he was a student. I'm not 100% sure. It's just I know that he struck a student. Let's see if he's a student. Yeah, I don't think he's a student. Guys like that, they're not, they're not going to school. This reminds me of that video. There was a female reporter at a sports game. I don't know which one. This sounds like I don't watch sport. It was a sporting event. She was trying to report, and there were a bunch of fucking dweeby dudes behind her just yelling over her while she's trying to report the news. Now, whether this would be normal if it was a male reporter, I personally don't think so. I think they would have yelled a little and then walked away. Because it was a female reporter, these guys were real fucking annoying, yelling 6-7 in her ear over and over. This guy was screaming at the top of his lungs, 6-7. We are officially an idiocracy. I can get behind younger generation memes. There are a lot of funny things that Gen Z has produced. 6-7 feels like a bubbling of Gen Alpha. I don't think it's Gen Z driven. I think it's Gen Alpha, and then losers in the Gen Z generation cling on to it because they still think they're 12. 6-7 to me sounds like something that is originated in a middle school classroom. And then if a college student is saying it, just know that they're a fucking loser. I'd rather them be regurgitating Gen X jokes than regurgitating jokes from 6th grade. But these losers are in the back yelling over her. She's very professional. She doesn't even acknowledge them. They won't stop. It's like these men, this guy dressing up as a Nazi, these guys, these boys, these 20-year-olds yelling in the ear of a female reporter while she's just trying to do her job. 6-7. Like, it's time we bring back the draft. Okay? I'm done. Can we send some of these motherfuckers to war? We gotta toughen up these losers, okay? These younger men are getting real losery. Not all of them, not all men. A lot of these men are getting dangerously close to being fucking losers. And you can be a cool loser or you can be a fucking loser. And these people are fucking losers. Cool losers are broke, artistic, they're wayward. They may not have, they have no idea what they want to do in life. They're just kind of figuring it out there. And you're allowed to be a cool loser in your 20s. You don't have any money and you don't really know what you're doing and you dropped out of school, but then you think you're going back and that's fine. Be a cool loser. A fucking loser is somebody who repeats memes that are made by 6th graders People who are dressing up in Nazi uniforms to get a rise out of people because their parents don't pay enough attention to them. People who give a shit about trans people, that hate on trans people while they go home and watch trans porn and jack off and then cry into their Bible afterwards. These are fucking losers. You're allowed to be wayward and not know what you're doing with your life, but don't make it everybody else's fucking problem. Be cool about it. Get real deep into weird fucking movies. Get real deep into conspiracies. You know, it's fine, but don't harm other people, you dumb fucking loser. Bring back the draft. It's the only answer I can have. Bring back the fucking draft. We got to get some of these fucking losers sorted. Parents, you failed these kids. They're fucking losers. I'm guessing they all have moms who are like that. I'm a boy mom. That's how you breed fucking losers. When your mom wants to bang you as a boy, you're a fucking loser. And it's not your fault. Your mom's a fucking freak. These parents have done awful jobs raising boys. Really. Not all of them. There are plenty of good boys out there, good men, young men that are doing the right things, but it's overwhelmingly apparent that there are a lot of fucking loser boys out there, and it's only the parents to blame. Okay, if you do better and you raise young boys into upstanding citizens, then you won't get these fucking losers that we have now. I mean, it's people that worship Jake Paul. It's people that, think it's cool to berate women. It's things like that. Think that the N-word is shocking. It's not shocking. You're a fucking loser. Okay, so parents, please do better. If you have a young boy at home right now and you're listening to this, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8. It just 6, 7. See, I'm a fucking no. If you have a young boy, please work on making them understand how to be a good person. Because they get away from you real quick, and then they're dressing up in Nazi costumes, or they're getting fucking red pilled online, and they think women are just holes, and they get mad at women because no women wants to talk to them because they're fucking losers. Please work on raising your young boys. If I have a young boy, my God, he's not going to be a fucking loser, and that's going to be my greatest accomplishment in life, is that I will raise a man who respects everyone. And also thinks that, the majority of men are kind of losers, fucking losers. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about is Disney deaths. Disney, man, they just keep having people die at those parks. I would die too if I had to go to Disney. Disney World's latest death was ruled a suicide. I get it, girl. I'd jump off a building too if I was at Epcot for more than 5 fucking minutes. The third death on Walt Disney's property in 10 days has been ruled as suicide. 2 of the people took their lives in Disney's most prominent hotel. The third person was identified as a 28-year-old Matthew Cohn, R.I.P., C-O-H-N. He died from multiple traumatic injuries after he jumped to his death from a height at a Disney Contemporary Resort in Florida. This is what Florida will do. If you stay in Florida too long, you're just going to look for the tallest ledge. Especially now that they've got rid of vaccines and they're dangerously close to saying no to gay marriage and no to women's rights and no to gay rights and trans rights. And it's all just boomers living down there, just white boomers that vote for Trump. You're going to look for the nearest, tallest ledge to catapult your body off of. But Walt Disney World, what a dark thing to kill your... I think these people love Disney so much that they're like, let me go end my life at my favorite place. It just happens to be that their favorite place is a theme park designed for children. I can't get behind killing yourself at Disney. I understand it, but also like, hey, just go do some fentanyl in Chuck E. Cheese's ball pit. Leave the kids out of it. Stop traumatizing people because you've struggled your whole life in some weird way with, I don't know. I get it, mental health. But leave Disney World out of it. It kind of is fun because Disney World is so overpriced, and it's just they just kill their consumers with the costs. That I am liking this trend of people just dying on site. I think a lot more people do die on site that they don't report on, but it's hard when it's a body falling off a building. It's kind of hard you can't really hide that one. This is the third death at Walt Disney World in just over a week, as we reported, TMZ. A 31-year-old woman died by suicide October 14th, also at the Contemporary. And then on October 21st, a man in his 60s died after suffering a medical episode at the Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. That's not really Disney's fault. He just, a guy in his 60s didn't take care of himself and probably had a heart attack. 2 suicides, though, within, 15 days of each other. That's not even 15 days. What? 7 days, a week. 1 week. One suicide, boom, another suicide. A woman and a man. That's harrowing. I feel bad if anybody had to watch that. But I guess if you're going to kill yourself, why not do it at a child's theme park? That's not weird. Disney adults are a little weird. Sorry. Even in their suicides, they're a little weird. I understand that you've had a weird childhood and you cling to Disney because it's like the only happiness you really remember from your childhood. And like, I totally get it. But like, as somebody who lived in Orlando, Florida for far too long, I just never understood that. I went once to Disney Springs and I hated it. I never understood the Disney appeal. I'm not better than you. I'm just, I think, a more rounded human being with less trauma. Okay. And that does not make me better than you. I don't have this weird childhood trauma, but I'm sure Disney adults everywhere are mourning. And, again, if you're going to kill yourself, just do it on the wall ride at Chuck E. Cheese. It's now made for adults. There's an adult Chuck E. Cheese. Hop on that wall ride and then shoot yourself up with fentanyl. All right, that is our show. Huh? Was it a little dark? Maybe, but so is the world. All right. Oh, you know what I want to say? Go listen to Lily Allen's new album. Holy fucking shit. West End Girl is the best album of the year when it comes to pop. Move over, Taylor shit. Lily Allen has made an album that is so fucking, if you like tea, girl, she is spilling this fucking shit all over the counter. Okay, David Harbour is her ex, soon to be ex. I'm not really sure. I never really followed that couple. He's the guy from Stranger Things. Apparently he was cheating on her left and right, being a real sex addict freak, and she let it all out. She spilled all of their tea on this album. Okay, look at me clinging to memes that are from my generation and the generation before me. Okay, that's how you do it. Take notes, weird Gen Z men. You got to listen to this album. Not only is it like, oh my God, scandalous, the thing she's telling us, it's really fucking good. The songs are really fucking good. So listen to Lily Allen's West End Girl. Very good. I believe that's what it's called. Let me double check on that because I've only listened to it once and I didn't really even pay attention. Yeah, West End Girl. I mean, one song is called Pussy Palace. It is so fucking good. Shout out to Lily Allen. I think she might be a horrible person, but I don't really care. I separate art from artists and I love the music. And it's one of my favorite new albums coming out and probably one of the best of the year for pop. I still relate it to pop. All right, upcoming shows. Again, next week I'm in Cleveland, Columbus, Ohio, Massillon, Ohio. Again, we've added a second show in Massillon. The first one's sold out. Thank you, Massillon. Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, St. Louis, Omaha, Richmond, Virginia, Muhammad, Illinois, Portland, Maine, Providence, Rhode Island, San Francisco, California. That's it for this year. And the next year I'll be in Detroit, Appleton, Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm coming back. I may be doing my special there. I'm working on it. We may be doing the special in Janesville, and Atlanta, Georgia, with more to come. What other cities are we working on? Let me tell you about. I have it right up here. In the new year, I'll be in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Tyler, Texas, Springfield, Massachusetts, Philly. I'm coming to Philly. Boston, and back out in Dallas, Fort Worth. Get tickets at heathershawcomedy.com. It's going to be a fun time out on the road. It always is. Join the Patreon if you can't get enough of this podcast. It's only $3 a month. You get access to everything that any tier would get you. You get access to all the episodes. I think we're up to 80 something bonus episodes. You get a chat that people are in. I'm going to start posting more personal things from the road to make it more fun in there. And yeah, patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy. And don't forget to rate and review this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I love you, queefs. You make my world go round. Until next time, stay gay. All right. See ya.